Hello and welcome to the OverShadow ShadowCast with your host Tom Sanderson and Abigail Mowat, Tech Wizard.
Hello.
So what have you been playing this week, Abigail?
Well, as you all remember, I bought an Xbox One S. Celebrations, please. Fair enough. Okay.
Wait.
I don't even know what that was supposed to be.
That
You made a motion like it was a party popper.
Yeah.
But then you went.
Yeah, a party poppered in my hands when with my mouth I did those things that unravel.
Unravel? You mean like the little whistle things?
Yeah, and it unravels and goes.
I don't know what whistles you're using, but I've never heard one go.
No, when you've got it and it's
have you been playing an actual whistle?
And it unrolls and it makes that.
No, it goes.
No, it's got a much more sound to it. I'm probably just standing there with a taser.
I don't want to go to any parties you throw.
Arc welder.
That was actually a good one. That was a good impression.
I thought the arc welder was pretty good though.
Yeah, well done.
I mean, on the mic it will sound terrible.
Yeah.
It will sound like I'm farting through a plastic bag.
Did I tell you I'm making cupcakes tomorrow and I'm going to be using like a little creme brulee torch for the first time? So I'm going to melt some marshmallows.
Be careful, please.
I will. I won't set them on fire. Maybe I might do that once by mistake.
I was more worried about you setting yourself on fire, to be honest. Or melting some Abigail mallow.
I'm not that accident prone. If I can be in charge of a massive fire to do blacksmithing, I can be in charge of a little torch.
Yeah, but the torch is wave-aroundable.
So is a molten hot rod or something like that.
Oh yeah, but it's not on fire. It's just very
almost.
hot.
You can almost set it on fire.
Yeah, but I'm willing. I'm assuming that if it went on fire, you didn't just start immediately waving it around. Whereas
into the water.
The tiny blowtorch, you're supposed to wave around. That's the point of it.
Yeah, it's like a little. Well, it's not an actual creme brulee torch. It's basically like an actual torch thing. You know, like it's a proper one for actually doing stuff, not for kitchen use. But I will use it in the kitchen. That's just your little welder thing impression there. Just reminded me of that.
I'm pretty good with impressions.
Yes. And we were talking about the Xbox. I forgot.
And you demanded that I do celebrations before promptly saying that doesn't count.
So.
Yay! 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 That's confetti cannons.
Oh, I thought that was a firework.
No, it's a confetti cannon.
No.
A firework would be.
So, I got my Xbox. I was like, yay, it's here, set it up. You helped me set it up over lay phone, which was good because it came with no instruction manual and I was scared in case I did something wrong. But basically just plug it in, go. And then it took, about a day and a half for me to download Spyro because the Xbox I came with 3 games.
Yeah.
It came with Battlefield 5, Fallout 76, which we'll ignore for the time being, and Spyro. I was really wanting to play Spyro, so that was the first thing I decided to pop in and download and then add some updates, and then it took a day and a half.
This game came in disc form, yeah?
Yeah.
And would you like...
And first of all, I thought that they had scammed me out of a game because I couldn't find the disc for Battlefield 5. I was like, where is it? And then I realised you have a little code that you need to put in.
Digital download.
Yeah, I didn't realise that. I was like, no! First of all, you're a day late, Xbox. And now I don't have the... Oh, wait, okay, it's a digital download.
Yeah.
I had... Basically, it was due for delivery. And then they said, oh, it's taking a little bit longer. It'll take between this day and this day. And if you haven't gotten it by the day after the last advisable day that it's going to get delivered, call us and we'll give you a hand. I'm like, oh, please be delivered. Because if it's not, I don't really want them to have to go through this entire process again. But it came. It was because of the flooding. Everything was delayed.
Yeah.
So I will blame the weather.
when you get round to playing some Halo, you'll see some real flood.
So anyway,
But with,
last night...
with Spyro, you had to install it, just like everything else. But would you like to tell the listeners what happened?
What do you mean?
When you put the disc in,
Yeah.
and it did a partial install from the disc and a partial install from the network.
Yeah.
And the disc one was how big?
Oh, I can't remember. All I remember, it had 42.
It was half a gig. And the download from the network was 42.5.
Yeah.
And the reason for that was basically the game disc just came with the game client on it. It didn't really have any of the game.
Yeah.
So that's why the Master Chief Collection gets a lot of stick, but it does the best job I've ever seen of installing from the disc and then downloading from the network as well.
So it took a day and a half for this thing to download.
Yeah.
And then I've now just put everything onto Insta On, so it's downloading overnight. Because while we were waiting for that to download, you went with me through some free games.
Aye.
Selecting ones. And every time I was like, oh, what about this one? No. What about this one? No. And then you said, what about Star Trek? I'm like, oh, I don't like Star Trek. What about this one? No. What about this one? No. Star Trek. So I downloaded Star Trek. And then you were like, oh, let's try this one. And it was, what was it called? Exile or something.
Path of Exile.
Path of Exile. And I was like, no, just download it. Just download it. Just download it. Queue it. Queue it. Download it. So I did.
Yep.
And they have now downloaded. Because I put Insta On, so they were downloading overnight.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, last night, Spiral worked. It finished downloading, so I was able to play it. First of all, I accidentally launched it while it was still installing. And I didn't want to play it because they said you could be missing some features if you don't completely upload it or download it or something. So I was like, right, I'll just wait. And then I didn't understand how to get out of the launch of it. And I just pressed a load of random buttons on the remote until I came out of it.
On the controller, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, controller. Because I need to get used to playing with an Xbox controller.
I wouldn't put it too far as to say it was so adorable when I said press the start button and you went, start button.
Well, because on a PlayStation remote, there's an actual button that says start.
What's the start button?
So all I have is, a B, an A, an X, and a Y, two little joysticks, which you went mad at me for. What's a joystick? What do you mean a joystick?
No, I didn't know. I said, why are there two joysticks? Why are you asking me that?
Well, because they were in different positions. They're like a
the PlayStation has two joysticks. It's not the fact there are two joysticks. It's the fact that one of them is in a different place.
Yeah, it just threw me. It threw me.
Basically, the difference is on the PlayStation, the joysticks are next to each other and the D-pad is in a comparable position to the buttons, the face buttons. However, in an Xbox, the left joystick is swapped with the D-pad. Yeah,
so they were in different positions, so that just threw me. And also I need to now learn what the trigger buttons like.
But no, the what they call bumpers.
Bumpers, I need to learn what they are. Like the names for them. Because one's RB, is it?
Yeah, right bumper and left bumper.
Yeah, but I've only just gotten used to what the ones on the PlayStation 2 controller were. L1, R. I still...
Yeah?
No.
Yeah?
No, I'm not going to say what I've just realised.
Yeah, what have you realised? Let's tell the people at home.
I don't want to say, but it sounds too stupid now.
Come on.
I always got confused over the fact that L and R, and then like one's left and one's right, but I always got really confused by that. I don't know if it's just because of my special brain.
You got confused as to which one was on which side.
Yes.
You couldn't remember the L was on the left.
Yeah, I may have just only realised that that's what that means.
Oh. I take it you don't want me to go through the face buttons on the PlayStation with you.
What do you mean?
The triangle, square, circle and cross, why they are what they are.
I've never questioned that.
It's very particular to Japanese culture, why they're the colours they are and why they are the shapes that they are.
I'm okay at the moment, thanks.
Okay.
Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah. So anyway, I play Spyro.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I never played the original two. I don't know what they were called. The two games, and then the third game was Year of the Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
I've only ever played Year of the Dragon on PS2.
Mm-hmm.
Or PlayStation, the original PlayStation as well.
But you played it on PS2, but it was released for PlayStation.
It was PlayStation, it was the Platinum one.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I had. And then I lost it. And I had to go, and I bought one on eBay. I had no idea where it was. I was like, I really want to play Spyro, and I saw it on eBay. It's like £25. I'm like, I was like, no, nostalgia makes me buy things.
Mm. But now you've got
Spyro on Xbox. Yeah. So it's like the most up to date game apart from Life is Strange. That was because I bought that the year it came out, and then I bought this the year it come out.
This is the most up to date game you've got though. Because
yes, it is. It's the most up to date game I've got. And
you've also bought it basically within the first couple of weeks of it being released.
Yeah. This is a big moment for me. This has never happened.
I haven't done that in years. Bought a game when it was released for myself.
Well, it's because it was a bundle. It was Black Friday sale, so.
No, just for any games I've bought when they've come out in the past few years have been as presents for Brian. I've not actually bought one for myself.
Alright. So, I played it, and it's been alright. The camera drives me a little bit crazy because it sort of... I'm so used to sort of like the camera just kind of like you sort of like being behind Spyro and it just like following you as you go and like facing different directions.
Yeah.
And this one it kind of doesn't. Like you could have Spyro facing left, but you're sort of like looking over him, looking left.
Oh, right, yes.
I fixed that though.
You fixed it to a locked camera?
Yeah.
Right, because you can use the right analog stick.
Yeah, I figured that out as well.
That's really...
This is me learning. I'm using this as a learning game.
Those are basically the two ways that you operate the cameras.
I bet you that happened with the last one and I never realised that.
Probably. But you can either, if it's first person, then the left stick will move the person and the right stick will look.
Right.
Whereas if it's third person, quite often the left stick will move the character and the right stick will move the camera.
Right, okay. So anyway, I launched it and so it's a villain I can't remember what it was called, Nasty Nork, I think that's the name of the character that you have, like the main villain in the first game. I don't really understand the narrative because if I remember correctly in Year of the Dragon there was a bit of more of a narrative as you started it, I think. Or I think maybe the narrative sort of progressed as the game progressed.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't understand why people needed things. I started watching playthroughs of this before I got the Xbox, but as soon as I was like, no, I'm going to buy it, I've stopped watching all playthroughs of it.
Yeah.
So I've pretty much gotten to the stage where other people were. It looks amazing. Like, it looks very bright, very vibrant. The animation, I think, is really good. But then again, I've been playing very old games up until now.
Graphics, not animation, because it's not...
Fine, the graphics look very good.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I said that Tom Kenny was playing the voice. I never realised that Tom Kenny played the voice in the originals as well. So that was nice to find out as well. I also like Sparks in this. Sparks does a little bit... He's got like little hands and he'll like come up to the screen and like wave at you if you wait around too long.
Who's Sparks?
Sparks is a little not butterfly, firefly that is your health bar basically.
He changes colour.
Yeah. If you let me speak.
Right.
He changes colour, so he starts off yellow, then he goes to blue, then he goes to green, and then he disappears.
Okay.
And you have to go around blasting sheep with fire.
To get health.
Or to headbutt them, to turn them to sort of release a butterfly that Sparks can eat. But it's really good because I remember in Year of the Dragon, they literally just like play with poof, like in a puff of smoke, I think it was. And in this one, they sort of have a thing where it's like, oh, their wool disappears, so there's like standing there like naked, and all of a sudden they disappear. But then a butterfly comes around. The butterflies look lovely as well. I just wanted to mention, I was like, oh, it's so pretty. It just looks so pretty because it's so good.
Yeah, it's.
I'm enjoying it.
How are you handling the actual gameplay aspects of the controller and stuff like that?
If I just sort of think to myself that in the position of was it X, Y, B, and A, that A is X, like from the PlayStation. That's
A
just
is cross. It's not actually an X. B is circle. X is square. Y is triangle.
yeah. Basically, if I just sort of remember it that way, I'll be fine. Yeah.
You'll eventually be able to remember it. Keep it all in your head.
Yeah, because I think I was like typing something out on the keyboard was it last night or the night before, and I just heard you say, "Wow, you're getting a good hang of that controller," because it's like I'm literally just pushing the up and right buttons to get to the letters I'd want.
The D-pad.
Is that what it's called?
The cross is called the D-pad.
The D-pad, yeah.
Yeah, but I think I also complained that I was about to have an epileptic fit with that.
I don't remember that.
When you move, it makes a click noise on the controller and a corresponding boop noise from the screen.
Yeah.
So when you were talking to me on speakerphone while typing out stuff, I was getting all the beeps in loudspeaker coming through. So,
sorry. But anyway, something I have noticed is that, if I remember correctly, the game Year of the Dragon, Sparks had a bigger range for when he picks up crystals, but you have to go around picking up crystals.
Mm-hmm.
And if you got Sparks there, it's great because he goes and picks them up for you and just brings them to you.
Well, I suppose it's difficult for you because you're playing a remaster of one you never played and trying to compare it to the original.
Yeah, so I'll be able to compare. I could be able to compare it properly when I actually go and play.
When you get to the third one, yeah.
But in this one, I'm sort of going around rescuing dragons. They've like been crystallized, and you have to go up and you have to like go near them, and then they reanimate. They reanimate and then talk to you as well.
Right.
So that's pretty cool. It's nice to see everybody not as, I'm gonna say the word wrong again.
Excessively polygonal.
Yes. Where like their like paw isn't a square. They've actually got claws and they can actually do stuff. So that's nice. I honestly can't wait. I have seen a picture of what Bianca looks like in the new game. I was like, oh no, I wanted to wait until I saw it, but I think it was like a thumbnail on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, no, I wanted to find out for myself what she looked like.
Yeah, I kind of hate YouTube's thumbnails are really annoying for being spoilerish.
Yeah. But Battlefield 5 looked really good when you sent me, was it Giant Bombs playing?
Yeah.
That looked fun. I also found out because I told you I had a code for a game called Battlefield 1943, and you're like, I don't think that's a real game. It's an online game that was released in 2009.
It is a real game, yeah.
You told me it wasn't. You said, I don't think that is a real game.
Because I knew of all the other Battlefields, but I hadn't heard of that one outside of people making jokes about it, so I assumed that it was a joke about sequels. Like, I know there's a 1942, so people were joking that there was a 1943 because that's the next one but I didn't realise
in the years.
I thought it was the next one when it comes to basically adding one to the numbers, but it turns out that's actually has been released. I'll
install. Depends, because this morning I started installing Battlefield 5 because the Star Trek and the Path of Exile game had finished installing this morning.
Mm-hmm. And then you'll need to find something else to play while you install 76 because it's on a disc.
Well, while I play 76, I could play.
When you install 76.
Yeah.
You could play.
I could play Battlefield 5.
Put it on easy. Because you're going to struggle.
Oh, I always play everything on easy.
I think you always what?
I always play everything on easy because I can't do anything else.
Well, you're going to have to get better than that, woman.
I remember playing, was it Harry Potter 7 Part 1 on the Nintendo Wii?
No.
I had to put that on easy because there was like the first game where I have to like defeat the Death Eaters. I was like, no.
No.
I kept dying.
It's just a bad game, but it's just that the first mission in Battlefield 5 it looks like it's a stealth-based mission to a degree.
Yeah.
So
we'll see. We shall see.
Just don't get too angry at
yourself.
Guys. Just don't get too angry at yourself, because if you do, you'll stop enjoying it and then you'll not play it, so you'll not get any better.
Yeah. I also discovered in Spiral I can do side rolls. I didn't know I could do that. I do side rolls. I was like going around like an area, just kept side rolling. That was kind of fun to watch.
Flying or on the ground?
On the ground, but when you go to different worlds, it has like a sequence where you're flying like through the air, and I found out you can roll in that. The only downside is I can't like sideways roll and breathe fire at the same time. That would have been quite nice.
While flying?
Well, you can't really do anything while flying because Spyro doesn't fly, he glides.
Right.
You know, if you do double jump and you can glide, the only time you can actually properly fly is if you go through like I'm just going to say magic doorway. It's not a magic doorway. It's like a power booster thing you can fly you can go through.
Right.
And then but there's like a bar that goes down on the right hand side. It's like a timed thing, so you can't have constant flying or there's another word people were using, but I can't remember what it was.
But if you're gliding, you can't breathe fire, but you can do a barrel roll.
I think I've not tried that while gliding. I've only tried it while I've been transporting to different worlds.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Can you do a barrel roll in there?
You can,
and you can do a sideways roll when you're running around?
Yes.
Right, okay.
It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Getting to discover stuff. Also, I don't know if they have it in this game, but in Year of the Dragon, you could do mini missions with Sparks, in which he would get power-ups or skills. Like, he could point towards gems you hadn't gotten yet. So I don't know if you can do that in this one. I don't know if that's something they specifically made for Year of the Dragon.
Yeah, they might have.
Also, I was in a world last night, and it looked amazing, and I wanted to go explore more, and then all of a sudden I just bumped into an invisible wall that just rippled out. I was like, okay, that's a boundary. But it was quite fun just to sort of hit that wall every now and again just to see what Spyro would do.
Yeah, the invisible wall.
The invisible wall.
The invisible wall!
Yeah.
My old nemesis, the invisible wall.
And I also managed to discover a secret on my own, which was good.
Well done.
I unlocked another level, but I didn't realise I could do that. I just hopped on some stones and I was able to... I was like, you found the secret level. I was like, yay! I'm so smart.
Oh, man. Right.
But it's a speedway level, and I have no idea how to do that, because normally in speedway levels is a timed thing, and you'd have to go around a course, and you need to take out... I think in the Year of the Dragon you had, I think, 4 different things that you had to take. Like, you have to go around a course and you have to hit like an airplane like every now and again. I don't know how to explain it.
Are you gliding?
You are forever flying.
Okay.
So you're able to forever fly in this.
Oh, right. Okay.
And you have to go around taking out. I don't know how to describe it. It's a bit like a relay course.
Yeah.
So you're having to take out something every now and again. There's 4 different things you need to take out, and it's all being timed down. That's what it was like in Year of the Dragon.
Right.
I honestly don't know how to explain it. I'm very sorry.
Relay course.
So if you go through it, in this one there's chests, there's barrels, and then there's 2 other things. I've not got into those yet. And you're constantly flying, and in front of you there's a chest, and there's another chest, there's another chest, there's another chest. You need to be able to take out all of those things. And you get more time for it. And then after you finish the chests, you go on to, I presume, is the barrels. And it's the same thing. The barrels, you have 2 barrels on a little train. And you have to take out those barrels, and there's another little train, you have to take out those barrels. And you have to go around a course doing the barrels, and then there'll be 2 other things that you need to go through. So it's a bit like that.
Okay.
I'm terrible at explaining things. I'm terribly sorry.
No, that's fine. I get it. I don't think that's a relay race, but I get
that's the best way I could describe it.
Okay. I disagree.
It's nothing like a relay race. I know that.
You could have just said it's a race.
It's a race.
That's
It's a timed
it's
trial.
a timed event.
It's a timed event. Yeah.
Trial is a good way of putting it. Time trial. Yeah.
Year of the Dragon was far easier in it though.
But yeah, it'd be interesting to see your reaction to Battlefield 5, if I'm being honest.
I also need to learn how to do game capture from the Xbox, because you can do that, can't you? Because you do that.
You press. It used to be you double tap, but they changed it. You simply press the dashboard key, and you press Y to take a screenshot and X to capture.
Right.
And I can help you set up your capture to capture for different lengths of time for different.
I'll just send you endless videos of Spyro rolling about.
Well, I think if we're friends, it comes up on my feed if you record a video.
Yeah, you also taught me how to add a friend.
Only one.
Only one.
Anyway, is that all you have to say for today?
I think so. I
Nice.
keep acting like my controller is wired, and it's not. I keep forgetting it's a wireless controller.
Yeah.
It's taking me a while to realize there is no wire.
You do
I love the fact that if you press a button on the controller, it switches the Xbox on.
Yeah.
How do you eject a disc?
The way you asked that was brilliant. I love it the way it turns the controller on. How do you eject the disc? There's a white button next to the disc tray.
Okay. And I've seen that, okay.
That will cause the disc to go
Okay, thank you.
like in a car.
Okay. Because now with Spyro, I need to... do I need to have that disc in?
To play
all
it,
the time?
To play
Okay.
it. But it won't uninstall without the disc in, so it's fine.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
So you're okay.
Yeah. Cool. And then I also need to get an Xbox Live membership. Gold membership.
Yeah.
And I think I've got a month's trial for that.
Yeah, so you could try that.
And then I'll ask for one for Christmas.
Because remember, if you got for a year...
It's 35 quid or something.
Yeah, but it gives you...
Deals on games.
and it also gives you 4 free games a month.
Does it?
Yeah.
Ooh.
2 Xbox Ones and 2...
Is it a
360s.
random thing, or does it...
Well, no, it's not random. They pick them.
That's what I
There's
mean.
no...
You can't choose.
Yeah, but there's no discernible sort of pattern to it necessarily. They just pick which ones they're going to give you.
Okay. Is everyone going to get Fallout 76 in the next one?
No, I think there'd be a riot if you handed that out for free. People would be asking you, please let us give it back. We don't want it.
That happened on iTunes when they gave a certain number of people a free U2 album. They were like, I don't want this. How do I uninstall it?
Yeah. How do I give this detritus back? But,
well, I've bought it. The only reason I have it is because the Xbox came with it.
76, not the U2 album. Fallout 76.
Fallout 76 is because I couldn't find a deal where I didn't have that.
No.
I mean, I could, but it would have been more expensive.
It would have been a worse deal.
Yeah.
Right. Little Miss Goldfish. Is that everything?
Yes. What have you been playing?
It's just nice that you're able to talk about something that isn't GTA 3.
Oh, God, I know. You know what I said? I missed it. I really don't.
Well, you don't now because you've got Spyro, but you missed it before because you didn't have anything else to play. So I've been playing Fallout 4 some more, and I was just starting the DLC Far Harbor.
Yeah.
So I played... Sorry, I'm completely losing my voice here. I just started that DLC. I'm only an hour or 2 in.
Yeah.
But before I started the DLC, I like to have all my ducks in a row. So I went to go and get all the bobbleheads. Now, bobbleheads are a collectible in the game that give you, if it's an attribute like strength, endurance, intelligence, it gives you +1 to that permanently if you find the bobblehead.
Right.
And if it's a skill, it gives you a unique perk for each of the bobbleheads you find.
Okay.
So if it's like medicine or something like that, you'll get a... I don't actually know the medicine one, but it'd be something like stim packs are 20% more effective, or you auto stim pack yourself when your health falls to a certain point. You know, something like that.
Yeah.
That's a sort of perk. Or if it's energy weapons, you do 10% extra damage with them, or 10% more likely to do a critical hit. Something like that.
Right.
And I had to look up a list of them online to see where they were, and I was missing 5 of the 20. I had 15.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually found out that because of my progress through the main story, or lack thereof, because I like to do that last in Fallout, because historically once you completed the main story the game actually stopped and you couldn't play anymore. I actually only missed 2.
Alright.
Because the other 3 you can't get access to at my point in the main story. One was in a building I had never been in before.
Right.
And you get access to that for the main story, but the area you do have access to out with the main story.
Yeah.
It's a lobby area, and I had never been in it before, so I don't really count that as missing, but in all fairness I probably wouldn't have found this particular bobblehead anyway, because it was on the top of a statue. You enter the lobby, and the lobby is like 20 floors up, and you're like, oh my god, and there's a statue at the top with a head, and on the head is the bobblehead. And I just don't think I would actually have seen it. So I'm willing to say I missed that one, even though I never actually had a chance to find it. The other one was the agility bobblehead, which was on a wrecked ship. And it was on a piece of wood that was stuck out from the bow of the cargo container ship tanker thing. So I just never noticed it. Because as soon as I had wiped everybody out, I jumped off the ship in my power armour, so I didn't notice. But obviously because it's agility, it's in a hard to reach place. But in all honesty, I haven't found a bobblehead in so long that I had forgotten how tiny they were.
How big are they?
Well, when you're walking around picking them up, they seem to be much bigger. You know, because they're on a table right in front of you and they look to be like 8 inches tall.
Yeah.
But I reckon they're only 4 to 6. So when they're far away, I was expecting to see a bobblehead that you could see, whereas when they're far away, you just can't see it. It's tiny.
These ones are small. The ones over there are far away.
Yeah. That's the point. You just can't... I couldn't see it because it was so small. And the draw distance with Fallout 4 on the console is terrible. I've shown you pictures of this before, where it's basically up close, it's a lovely building, right? And then if you go 100 metres away, it just turns into a green cube. It's just ridiculously bad. But yeah, so I got all my ducks in a row. And then I went and did the Fallout, the DLC Far Harbour. And that starts with, you just come across a house in the top right corner of the map. A homestead with 2 parents in it who fish. They've got a couple of boats, like proper trawler boats.
Yeah.
And they're sort of mechanised to do the trawling for themselves. And it's about a girl. She's gone missing. She's 19 years old, she's gone missing, and the parents are desperate to try and find her. And when you approach the house, you can hear them shouting down the radio because they think somebody's abducted her. Give us back our girl, blah blah blah. So I think blah 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 was possibly not the most...
Yeah, I don't think that's what the people would say when people say, blah 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 blah.
No, that's my parents. That's the best. Their daughter's been abducted and I'm just going, yeah, blah blah blah. But
right, what's the mission? What do I get from it?
Yeah, but I knew it was about an abductee when I went into it, so I took with me a companion that is a private investigator, because I thought that would be really cool, right? It turns out that the father knows the character I brought along, so they end up having a unique conversation because of it.
All right, that's pretty
so I thought
cool.
It was pretty cool. But yeah, you go around to her house, listening to these holotapes that she's recorded.
Yeah.
And then you go to the... you can also talk to her parents. So I did both because that's the way I'm like. And then I went across to the workhouse that they've got. The grandfather who died, he used to work with the daughter in there.
Yeah.
And you've got to find a key to a safe, and then you open the safe and it tells you where she's gone.
Right.
and she's gone to Far Harbour. See, I originally thought that the extra area this added to the map was the little area in the top right-hand corner.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't, because when you go back and tell the father then gives you access to his other boat that runs on autopilot.
Yeah.
And the boat then takes you to Far Harbour, which is a huge island in the game, separate from the map. And you have to try and find her. I'm not going to give too much away, but that's really the premise of it. In the few hours that I've played, I have noticed that they have added not just a huge new area, but there are brand new enemies as well. What were they called again? Like gulpers or something like that?
I like how you asked me like I'd know.
Mutated fish with legs or something weird. And it's just a really quite interesting place. When I happened to pull in, it was night time, and it just looks quite ethereal. Because there's a fog over the island, which is apparently very dangerous. And then there's also these anti-fog things that they put down as pieces of technology to keep the fog at bay. But it just looks like magic. These blue swirling lights. Sort of like if you can imagine a lamp post, but only like an old Victorian era lamp post, but only about 8 foot tall.
Right.
And it's blue swirling light around it. It's quite when I'm pulled in at night time to this island, it's quite ethereal. Yeah, I'm quite interested in what's happening. There was one funny bit though where I was talking to a woman, and she's obviously got her own programming when it comes to she's supposed to be awake at certain points and asleep at certain points and doing certain things at certain points. And she sort of seems to run the town, but I'm not sure yet. But what was fantastic about it was that I don't know if I happen to pull in at night or if it always pulls you in at night. You know, when
like it's a set thing, yeah.
I'm not sure, but she has to be awake to greet you. So after I did the whole first mission, meeting them all and doing a bit of shooting of these enemies, immediately after the conversation that she had to have with me at the end, she, as soon as the conversation was done, she turned around and sprinted off. And I followed her thinking, what's going on here? And I found her upstairs in her bed asleep. So obviously the programming kicked in to send her to bed. Because she was up really late because the mission made her be.
Yeah.
I just thought it was really funny because I didn't have a clue what was happening. I'd never seen that before. She just turned around and tore off into the distance.
So what, do you just have to like wait around for her to wake up then? You said she has to be awake for you to speak to her.
Well, you can wake her up, but yeah,
all right.
But
just sitting there like a creep in the corner of the room.
But
that was a terrifying face.
Yeah, but the start of the mission, she's automatically up and about because she greets you as you pull into the harbour. But it's just funny. Anyway, the fact that she had to tear away like that, but made me laugh.
Yeah, because when I was talking to you, was it the other day, you said you were building a tower, or you were building something on top of you.
I built a house and I put 4 stories on it, and then it wouldn't let me put the roof on because I'd reached the height limit.
Yeah.
But it doesn't tell you what the height limit is, so I had to take down a set of walls, a staircase, and I had to take away the floor to put the roof on.
Yeah.
And then what I was wanting to do, I don't know if it'll let me, but I wanted to put the stairs back in and then have a wee door to the outside world and then just set up something on top. You know, just on top of the roof. Just put, what I was actually thinking I could do just for a bit of fun is put on layers of roof around the top so it looks like a big pole with like a big flat bit on top, like a spinning plate almost.
Yeah.
And then the roof is huge. In fact, if I'm being serious, what I would really like to do is build it around the town that we've already got and just build a huge building over the top of it. Just block out the sun. But it was, that was just annoying. Just like, I didn't know how tall it could be maximum, and then it wasn't very tall at all. It was only 4 stories, and then it wouldn't let me put the roof on.
I had the similar thing in The Sims. The same thing happens in that.
Yeah, but the problem is you can move the roof around. I could have put the roof inside the building, not on top of it, and it would have been, logically that should have been fine. But it said, no, I'm not having that. I'm not happy. I just thought it was insane.
You could have just had a building without a roof. Just let the top floor flood when it rains.
Yeah, because it's a flat roof building.
We'll just have that then.
Yeah. You can't put windows in. There's no windows. You can have glass and you can make glass. Huge big panes of glass, but you can't put windows in. Oh no, that's insane.
Well, on any level, or just because it hit their height limit?
There is no
windows.
Window option. I'd have to destroy the building and build specific buildings that happen to have windows. But then it would be basically a vault rather than a building. I think that's what people have done. They've built using, instead of building a vault underground, they've built like a vault like network.
Yeah.
A vault is basically just an massive underground bunker type thing, like a city. But they've built them above ground, and that's why they've got windows and everybody's happy and stuff like that. But it's still silly that because there you build rooms. Vaults are basically built by room. It's a little bit trickier to build them as one big building.
Yeah.
But you suppose you could do it. But I just wanted to build one massive tower in the corner of this town just for a laugh, and it wouldn't let me. So I kind of, what's the point in this thing if it won't let me build a huge tower? What is the point?
What is the point in life?
And what's so bad is that Fallout 76 seems to be entirely based on the build a giant tower in the corner aspect, but we're actually going to randomly not let you do that. So they've taken something that they put in for Fallout 4, base buildings new to Fallout 4, but was terrible, and then built an entire game based on that, and it doesn't seem like it's, oh, what a surprise, it hasn't done very well. But yeah, I've been, I really want to play more Far Harbor. Although in all honesty, there is a part of me that does not want to actually leave the tiny little part of the map I'm in, because it looks really dangerous out there.
I'm happy in my little corner of the world.
Yeah, I think I'll just stay here, thanks. Anyway.
Much like life.
Yeah, I'm just going to hide here. Oh, is this a duvet? I'll get under that. Anyway, we need to get quickly to the
roll
news.
myself in it.
Well, you can do
become
that.
Become a little sushi roll. Have you not seen that on Facebook?
No. Oh, I think I might have actually. But I just was thinking there, you've got
to cheer up somebody who's sad.
Yeah.
Put them in a blanket, roll them up to make them a sushi, make them look like a sushi roll.
Yeah.
Feed your little sushi roll some snacks. Make it a happy sushi roll.
I think that would work for you because you're
What?
You're smaller and you have a double bed. I have a single bed and I'm much bigger. So I don't look like a sushi roll. I look more like a calzone. Like somebody's just flipped the pizza over. Because all I'm able to do is basically grab the duvet and flip it over me once, and that's it.
Just stand up and wrap the duvet around.
No, it doesn't wrap. It's not big enough. There's a gap at the front. When my mum is sitting on the bed...
You could be a little pig in blanket.
That's what I'm saying. There's not even enough blanket to wrap round. I just look like somebody's folded over a pizza and then it started to open again.
No, not like not so that it's like standing, so it's like the long way standing up, the short way standing up, if you understand what I mean.
Oh, right.
So you have like the thinner bit goes around you instead of like the longer bit.
No, well, that's not entirely. That doesn't.
Turn the duvet on its side.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, I get what you mean now, but I just and the part where my feet go is in my face. Blech, no. But when my mum does the same thing, she gets into her double bed, and when she's like reading a book or something, she'll flip it over her rather than roll herself up. But she's got a huge double bed and she's tiny. So she's just sitting in this sea of duvet. I'll walk in to say, oh, how you doing, what's going on, whatever. and then she just sort of like, I half expect her to just start bobbing, up and down, like, yeah, what's going on? But come on, we need to get to the news now.
Sorry.
We're going to run out of time, and the Earth will implode.
Right. Okay.
So the first piece of news, and all of the others, is about Fallout 76. Fallout 76 has dropped in price to just above half price, and has a Metacritic score of 49 from the critics.
Is this out of 100?
Aye.
Okay.
So this is from the actual sort of like official reviewers, and 2.5.
Is that out of 5?
10 from the players.
Wow. Okay.
A PC player contacted Bethesda for a refund because the game was so unplayable because of all the bugs. And Bethesda said they could process the refund straight away. They couldn't process the refund straight away, but they would process it when they could. A couple of days later, Bethesda contacted the player again and said that those that had downloaded the game weren't eligible for a refund. Then they stopped replying to him altogether. Apparently Bethesda's game client, Bethesda.net or Bethesda.game or something like that.
Bethesda.
Do you think they do that?
Bethesda.
Do you think Bethesda?
Oh, do you think if we say it too many times, the executive producer, I think
going
to appear.
I think that's what
like
he
Beetlejuice.
does. I think he just appears behind people and goes, Bethesda, and then and disappears.
Nicks your wallet.
Yes. That's what Fallout
He just
76
goes around, and as soon as you hear Bethesda, your wallet's gone.
Yeah.
The more you say it, every time you say it, 50 quid comes out your account. No.
So what I was saying was that Bethesda have this new game client. It's like Steam, right?
Yes, I know of Steam.
And they run their version. They said that it was because they needed to run this game within their own rules because it's an MMO. And their game, it's on Steam, you can return a game within 14 days if you've played it for less than 2 hours.
Right.
For a full refund.
Right.
Fallout 76, once you've downloaded the game, you don't get a refund from Bethesda's game client. So the PC player can't get a refund.
That is shocking.
I'm pretty certain it's against the law in the UK at least. In Europe, that would be illegal. You have to offer a refund if the game doesn't work properly.
I can understand the fact that, because I was listening to you say it's like 2 hours you can get a refund, because I suppose refunding a game is going to be different to anything else, but there's some people that speed play, isn't it?
Well, to be honest with you, if you've played the game, you're not refunding the game, are you? You're handing it in for trading. That's a different story.
Okay. But if it's so buggy that they cannot play it, they should be allowed to have a refund.
Yeah. Yeah. If you release a game that cannot be played because it's so buggy, then and you're saying, oh, we're just going to release a patch for it. Well, it doesn't matter. The person can ask for a refund until the patch is done. You can't just say, oh, there's a patch coming in 6 months, so it will work then, so tough. That's not how it works.
Oh no, you're out with your refund policy time. After 6 months doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you had 2 weeks or 2 hours or whatever.
All you have to do is follow these very simple rules, and then they put down a book the size of the Bible. But it's ridiculous. It's redonkulous. It's ludicrous.
That was loud.
Bethesda. So that's 100 quid. So yeah, I just think that's ridiculous.
I think if I say it backwards, everything will be reversed.
I'd like to see you even try.
Hit ebb.
No.
Hit.
No,
ebb.
it would be adds teb. Adds a teb. You wouldn't pronounce the H.
Some people do.
Yeah, but they're probably people who come in and say, Bethesda.
Anyway,
Bethesda.
shall we continue?
Bethesda. So, Fallout 76 is the next story.
Again?
Yep. Yeah, this was a concept I absolutely loved, was that there's quite a few stories here about Bethesda, about Fallout 76 and Bethesda, and they're separate because for the first time since we've been doing this, a company has managed to screw itself over on several fronts. And Fallout 76 is becoming Bethesda's Star Wars Battlefront 2 when it comes to the player reaction, gamer reaction. So this story is about the Fallout 76 £175 Power Armor Special Edition.
Is this the thing you made me look up?
Yeah, don't make me say that twice. Which includes the game, a glow-in-the-dark map, some figurines, a metal case, digital downloads. All those commas have disappeared, so this is quite difficult to read.
A canvas bag, a power armor helmet, a collectible. Unfortunately, Bethesda changed.
Stop. Yeah, right, let me try again then without you ruining it. It costs
Never!
Bethesda. It costs £175.
Hold on, did you just see a flash? Am I going crazy? There was like an orange flash.
No, you're going crazy.
Yeah.
So it costs £175, the Power Armor Special Edition, and it comes with the game, a glow-in-the-dark map, some figurines, a metal case, some digital downloads, a canvas bag, and a Power Armor helmet, which is a collectible.
Why do you have it in brackets, a collectible? Why not just put another comma saying, which is a collectible?
Because that was to remind me to say which is a collectible.
Okay.
I don't need to write out every single word I'm going to say, because I'm not.
I do.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, Bethesda changed this last minute, and they removed the canvas bag from the collector's edition.
Is this an actual canvas bag? Like in real life, you can get a canvas bag, or is this in-game?
It comes with a canvas bag.
For £175.
When you're getting a game, you're getting the Power Armor, that's what it's really for, the Power Armor helmet collectible, because it's big enough to wear.
Oh, this is an actual thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, everything I just said, the game is digital and the downloads are digital, but everything else is physical.
I thought that all of these were like in-game things you could get.
No, the glow-in-the-dark map is real.
Alright.
If you go into your bedroom and turn all the lights out, the map glows in the dark.
I can see where my life went wrong.
Imagine how much... Is it still radium they use for glow-in-the-dark?
I don't know.
Because that must be...
Just map it out. Yes, I took a wrong turn there. I took a wrong turn there.
I don't entirely think that going into your bedroom and turning all the lights out, that's where you've gone wrong already, because you're probably not that great in the head if you're staring at a map with all the lights out.
But it's glow in the dark. But I genuinely thought like all of these things were like in-game things.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah, well, with my version of Fallout 76, it came with like little pins, which I wasn't expecting. And I said to you, oh, it comes with pins. And you're like, what are you talking about? It comes with pins. I still don't understand what you're talking about, so I take a picture of it to send to you. Like, oh, pins.
Have they got, it's like those like charity things that you can buy that you put through your clothes.
Yeah. Like with that weird little, like, you have to like push it down on the back to put it in. To get
it off, and then you've just got the spike.
So it's a badge. Not even a badge. No, a badge has like a actual like pin in it, doesn't it?
Anyway, so unfortunately Bethesda changed this last minute and removed the canvas bag from the collector's edition, because as you pointed out, these are all physical things. So they removed it and they replaced it with a cheap nylon thing.
That's not good.
So yeah, just to round up, all those things that I mentioned, with the exception of the digital downloads and the game, everything else is real. So the figurines are real, the Power Armor helmet is real, the map is real, and the bag is real. But they changed the canvas bag and replaced it with a cheap nylon thing, as I've described it here. Because I saw a picture of it, it just looks like a piece of tat. And
that's not good.
When someone complained, Bethesda replied saying this, right? This isn't a direct quote, saying that the bag shown in media, that's pictures that they advertised the Special Power Armor Edition with, was a prototype and was too expensive to make. We aren't planning on doing anything about it.
That makes me angry.
It's just so stupid. Afterwards, Bethesda apologised and have been trying to make up for it by handing out free microtransaction currency, 500 atoms, to those affected. However, no refund is available because Bethesda's rules don't allow you to get a refund for a collector's edition.
That's not on. Because £175 is a lot of money.
And at the 500 atoms, apart from the fact you have to spend it in game, it's $5 that's worth.
Ooh.
About £5. So 175, and they're giving you back 5 when they... Here's the thing though, right? This story's not finished. So give me your opinion on what we've heard so far.
I think that Bethesda are completely in the wrong there. They, you know, all I can see there is the £175. Now, I understand that loads of games are like about £60 now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what, another £115 that you're paying for, what is it, like an add-on to the game, a DLC, is it?
No, it will be like a hat or something. The digital downloads will be like a hat.
Okay, so you're basically paying £115 for a glow-in-the-dark map,
mm-hmm.
a helmet,
mm-hmm.
and
a bag. And some figurines.
That is a lot of money.
Yeah.
That is a lot of money.
Just to clarify, the power armor helmet is human-sized. You can wear it.
I understand that, but still, that's a lot of money.
It's. I think it's a reasonable price, actually, for what they're offering, but I do think that it's a reasonable price. It might be a bit high, but it's not ridiculous.
I've been out of the loop for far too long with the games and things like that.
Well, I would never spend that much on one, but the point is that it's a reasonable price if you take into account that Bethesda should have taken care of the people who then spent that money.
Yeah.
But to do this to them is just ridiculous.
If they honestly couldn't afford to make the canvas bag, they should have given a refund to the equivalent of what that canvas bag would have been.
At least.
Yeah.
They should have offered a lot more than this. Here's 500 atoms.
No, that's outright. That's not right.
To use in that 500 atoms, just to clarify for anybody listening, is the in-game currency for the Atom shop, where you can buy things for the game using atoms. It's an in-game currency.
Yeah.
We're going to move on now, because as I said, now I look at these stories, I read them, and I write down a wee paragraph to remind me what to say. Now, I found the first story, and I found the second story, and then what would you like? I found a third story about Fallout 76 and Bethesda. A US law firm is investigating, not investing as I've written here.
I know, I was just like, it's investing.
Is investing Bethesda itself. No, a US law firm is investigating Bethesda for deceptive trade practices regarding the lack of Fallout 76 refunds. That law firm is also investigating Bethesda because of the lack of refunds for the Power Armor Special Edition and the bag switch. Some sellers advertised, and still are advertising at the moment, a canvas bag. It looks as though Bethesda did not tell anyone and did not change the advertisement image, so it was false advertising from the looks of it. They definitely got a case to answer there. They claimed that a lack of materials was responsible for the fact that they couldn't make the bags. But there's two things I'd say to that. One, this should have been arranged months in advance of the
not
release.
even months. It would have been this kind of stuff should have been arranged at least a good year before the release.
I'm not sure if that's even feasible.
But if they're gonna add stuff to it.
But you've got a point there of none of this stuff's actually interfering with the game.
Yeah.
So it could have been organised a long time in advance.
Because if you're just going to go with like if you have a set thing of what's going to be in the game.
Yeah.
You know, like this power armor.
Not in the game, in the special edition collector
Sorry,
stuff.
in the special edition collector stuff. Well, this power armor, the helmet, I presume is taken from
that must have
the power armor that's in the game.
Yeah, it's the Type 51.
So if that's definite that that's going to be in the game, then they'll have to have arranged, because they need time to...
I don't know if it's going to be in the game.
Oh, okay then.
Or if you're talking about in the collector's edition.
In the collector's edition, that's
fine. Oh, it's in the collector's edition
game.
I don't know. No, forget game. Using the word game is just confusing me. It's the collector's edition stuff.
Yeah, but anyway, so you do need a long time. You need time to contact manufacturers. You need to have first of all, you need to have the go-ahead. Contact the manufacturers, arrange a price, and then arrange how many you're going to need.
Well, that's why I don't think it can happen that far in advance, because they need pre-orders for this stuff. So they should have organised the contracts with the makers a long time in advance, and then a few months before the game's release.
I think when it comes to manufacturing stuff, they have to give a guarantee, this is how much we are going to order outright.
Yeah, but they don't do that. What they do is they get pre-orders in a couple of months in advance, say 3 to 6 months. And then that's what happens. There's no other way you could do it.
But yeah, like you said, all of this had to have been arranged a lot longer in advance.
So the helmet, that helmet would have had to be arranged a long time in advance compared to a canvas bag.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make any sense. And here's the second part I've written, and I'm quite happy with it, right? So they claimed a lack of materials.
Hold on. There was like a really...
That was my stomach, so we can continue. They claimed a lack of material. I'm laughing, by the way, just in case that sounded like I was telling Abigail off. When you went, hold on, that's my stomach. Thank you very much.
Gurgly, gurgly. What was that noise?
There's a monster in my belly. They claimed a lack of materials, like I said, but canvas isn't moon rocks. Canvas is not difficult to get a hold of. It's like they were building the thing out of a combination of pure gold and moon rocks. There's no way it would have been that difficult to get a hold of. I heard one person say that the compensation offered, the 500 atoms I mentioned before, it is $5 in imaginary Bethesda money. And that phrase made me giggle my head off. Here's $5 in imaginary Bethesda money. La 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 la.
Or are they walking, running away like a little scared pixie?
That's what Bethesda's done, is basically say, here's $5 in imaginary money. Woo!
Take the magic beans.
We'll take the real money. Also, in a legal aspect, don't accept the atoms if you're offered them, because they're technically a form of compensation, and as such, in certain areas of the world, you can't take legal action if you accept the 500 atoms. So you can't do anything about basically the fact that you might have been frauded. You might have been defrauded if you accept the 500 atoms. It's a bit of legal trickery there from Bethesda. I'm not particularly impressed by it, because most people don't realise that they can't accept the atoms, and then once they have, that's it, because you can't give them back. So here's the question.
To me or to the listeners?
Everybody. Yeah, you basically are probably the listener. Here is the question. Bethesda tried to release an unfinished game and fix it later, slapping their fans in the face. Now that we know they did it and called them out on it, and they're still refusing to do anything about it, how did Bethesda man up and admit they made a mistake?
They just need to come out and first of all apologise. That would be the first step. Mm-hmm. And I think they need to offer refunds.
I think they need to offer refunds, or at least something else, to the people who bought the game. And to the people who bought the special edition with the canvas bag that they never got. I mean, what they're trying to do here is just disgusting. If that actually happened, then it's illegal. So you've got to
offer
treat with them in some way, because these people.
I was about to say retribution, but
the point is that these people will not buy another game.
Yeah,
it's a short-term boon to take this $200, £175 off them, because they just won't buy another Bethesda game.
Yeah,
and Bethesda are releasing like 8 games next year, so that's just such a bad idea. They have to come out. It's my stomach again. We can continue.
That did not sound like a stomach noise.
They have to come out and say, we're offering refunds for the game, we're really sorry, we're going to spend time revamping the whole thing because it doesn't work properly, and fixing all the bugs as well, a total rebuild from the ground up, or we're going to just slate the whole thing and that's it. And we're offering refunds for the Power Armor Special Edition because we screwed that up completely. For me, that's what they have to do. They have to admit that they've made a mistake. At the minute, they're just running away. Ooh, we made some money. Ooh. It's just a bit pathetic.
Yeah.
So, do you know how I said that there was one story about Fallout 76, and then I found another, and then I found a third?
Have you found another one?
Yep. This is the last one. But
are we just going to call this episode Fallout 76?
Probably. So after I asked that, I wrote out that little question I just asked as a summation of the Fallout 76 debacle.
Yes.
Then I heard this.
What did you hear?
Story number 4.
What?
The canvas bag that they couldn't make and did a switch to the nylon bag. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. Bethesda at an influencer event in September gave their influencers free canvas bags.
Jeez.
So it's not the same type of canvas bag.
It was the actual canvas bag.
No, it was a different design of canvas bag.
Right.
But they handed those out for free. So it wasn't the same bag that was advertised for the special Power Armor edition.
Right.
It was a different type of bag. But they still took the time for the influencers to give them free canvas bags that they didn't give canvas bags to their paying customers.
Can I ask a quick question? Or do you want to finish this and I'll ask a
Yeah, because
question?
it's just
Okay.
clearly this worldwide canvas shortage struck without warning just after they made these influencers free bags. Because they found canvas for hundreds of free influencers. All of which were probably Americans. Which also makes this story slightly racist. And then they never managed to get... I mean, did we run out of canvas? Are we done now? Or are we out of canvas? Did we mine all the canvas from the canvas mines?
Your face is starting to scare me.
It's just... I mean, it's honestly like they think people dig up canvas. Like, there's a few... Like, that's where the dwarfs were going when they're singing Hi-Ho. They're going to a canvas mine. Like with the Lord of the Rings, when they enter Moria, and they call it a mine. They were mining the rarest of all materials. Was it Mithril, Gandalf? No, it was canvas. What?
Okay, calm down. Calm down a little bit.
What's next? Is there going to be a superhero that gets weakened by canvas rocks because they come from another planet and we've run out of them? What is going on?
So can I ask my question now?
I would like to just say this because it's a legal thing here.
Okay.
If you've been affected by the canvas bag story, and I don't mean this in a psychological sense, I'm not going to refer you to a helpline. I'm just going to say that you should contact the Advertising Standards Authority. They are actually...
They're the ones that deal with things like this.
Yes, and there's a decent case here for an act of fraud or false advertising. Mm-hmm. So I would seriously consider talking to them. And in America, there's a committee, a federal committee on this sort of thing as well. And if they advertised a canvas bag that wasn't there, then they're in trouble. So contact your relevant authorities. And if you've accepted...
Not the police, though.
Yeah. And please don't accept the 500 atoms because it's a ruse. It's illegal trickery. Don't take it.
Yeah. What's an influencer? Is this like YouTube, like gamers?
Yes, it's just people who basically play the game or talk about Bethesda in a really positive way.
Oh, so this could also be people who write articles for gaming magazines or online gaming.
I'm more likely to say streamers.
Streamers, right?
Because streamers are... People who write articles are less likely to fall to this sort of blatant bribery, to be honest, than influencers. Now, I mean, influencers, I don't hold anything against the influencers who got the canvas bags. It's not their fault. And I don't hold anything against them for liking Bethesda.
Everybody has their own opinion on
And
things.
if you play the game and you enjoy it and you're just playing the game, go ahead. But I do think there is a habit for these people to get so... When Bethesda invite them along and say, we're going to pay for you to come out to Los Angeles and have a nice holiday.
Oh, don't say it like that.
In Bethesda, no, it's not the influencers. This is Bethesda. Yes, you'll come out here and we'll give you a canvas bag. Oh yeah, then you will stay in a hotel room and we will pay for everything and you will get to see Fallout 76 months in advance. Well, I think they sometimes let that go to their head. I wish something would go to my stomach, if I'm being honest, but they let that go to their head, and I think that's... I'm always wary of influencers. I would hate to be described as one.
Have you found yet another thing on Fallout 76?
No.
Because I see another...
No, this is just something that made me laugh. So what's your roundup of this canvas bag story?
Listen, it's a blatant case of false advertising. If you say, right, you're going to get this, but you get... It's like saying, if you buy this, you're going to get an apple, but instead you get an orange. It's... So, yes, it's...
And what about the influencers? Do you now know what they are?
Yes, I now know what influencers are. And it's not their fault.
No.
They went to a launch of a game or see
They basically just play games online.
Yeah.
They happen to play Bethesda games, and Bethesda said, like, come here, we'll show you 76, so that you then talk about it when you're doing your stuff, and that's free advertising, essentially.
Yeah.
That's what they've done. It makes perfect sense. But the fact that they took the time for the influencers and gave them something for free, but they didn't take the time for their paying customers and might have defrauded them with false advertising, that's ludicrous.
Yeah.
And just to clarify, just in case you did say anything over the top, I said might. I'm not getting sued for this. They might have defrauded their customers with possible false advertising. In my opinion, it does fit false advertising, but they have not been convicted of anything.
Yeah.
The sentence that Abigail saw was something that made me laugh. When people are talking about video games, they'll talk about the experience, right? So they might talk about the Battlefield 5 experience or the Halo Master Chief Collection experience, what it's actually like to play the game. So one person who was talking about the Fallout 76 experience said, made me laugh, the Fallout 76% off experience. As in Fallout 76 is 76% off of a Fallout game.
Bethesda.
Anyway, I just thought that was really, really funny. It made me laugh. But we'll move on to actual stories now. Now we're on to companies that I actually despise. EA. We're told back in September that 15 European companies were taking action against loot boxes. Now the US government will be investigating loot boxes too. The Federal Trade Committee, I think that's what it was, will be investigating them, citing the UK Gambling Commission study detailing that the number of children gamblers in the UK has quadrupled in 2 years, and close to 1 million young people have been exposed to loot boxes. An Australian study found that loot box spending went up when that person had a gambling problem. Therefore, the neurological and psychological effects are akin to gambling. As a result, the Australian government will also begin an investigation. And just to sum up my opinion of loot boxes, I've written down, now I like Star Wars Battlefront 2. Because if the effect of that game being released is to have loot boxes eradicated from existence, then I will happily put up with that game being released. Now, what's your opinion on loot boxes?
Bad. They are bad.
They're a scourge upon the countryside.
They're bad and they're not good.
They're bad and they're not good. Oh, jeez. Insightful.
They shouldn't have them, basically. It does seem to be a form of gambling, from what I've been told.
Mm-hmm.
From what you have told me.
Yeah.
So I don't know much about it, but it's good that but it is good that multiple nations are actually taking an interest in investigating what's going on.
I mean, even Halo 5 would be hit by this ban, but see, the thing about Halo 5 is, in all honesty, you don't need to spend the money, really. Because it's not that difficult to unlock all the stuff. It takes time, but you could feasibly do it, you know?
Yeah.
If you played to level 151 of the multiplayer ranks, you could unlock everything.
Right.
You probably would definitely have unlocked everything, at least within... Some of the stuff might be locked away behind commendations, but you wouldn't need to spend a penny. Because it takes ages to get to level 151 on Halo, so you've unlocked a whole load of rec points that you use. 5,000 for silver, 1,250 or something, or 2,500 or something like that for a bronze, and 10,000 for a gold.
Right.
And a few games, if you use the boosts appropriately and you play reasonably well, and you choose the right game types, and you've got another silver pack. So you don't need to. Whereas in the case of the other things like FIFA Football Ultimate Team or Star Wars Battlefront, your ability to actually play the game is impacted. Because it's not just aesthetics or weapons that you wreck for only certain game types. It's very much your ability to actually progress through the game in those other ones is inhibited by the fact you haven't bought a loot box.
Right.
The people around you are so much better that your progress through the game is slowed.
Right.
So it really affects the game, and at least with Halo you're guaranteed certain wrecks. but with the EA Battlefront stuff, you weren't. So it was a joke, and it was taking advantage of people. And I think there is a slight difference between Halo 5s and the rests. And I don't mean just because it's Halo and I'm covering for it. I do genuinely think that there's a separation there, and that Halo 5s is sort of it's part of a different category.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that that's the best example I've got. But if you banned them all and just had an in-game currency that you unlocked the crates with, or the loot boxes, but you couldn't spend real money, you just couldn't do it, absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine. I don't see a problem with it at all.
Okay.
Continuing with EA, Battlefield, this is a new story, but continuing with EA. Battlefield 5 is not doing well and is contributing to a huge 40% collapse in EA's stock price. In the UK charts, Battlefield 5 sales are down by 63% compared to Battlefield 1. After a week, it's been halved in price. Comparatively, Red Dead Redemption 2 has not been discounted and has been out for over a month, I think.
Yeah.
In fact, it saw a 30% increase in sales because of PlayStation 4 bundles. Battlefield 5 debuted in 4th place in the UK charts. I think it's 4th at the moment, and I think it debuted there.
Okay.
It's a weekly thing, I think, so I think that's where it came in.
Any reason for it?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Have I just bought terrible games?
No. There's several factors. One is EA. People are upset at EA.
Okay.
Secondly, it's yet another Battlefield game, and they're released every year.
Okay.
Thirdly, it's not, people aren't raving about it in reviews, so people aren't particularly paying attention to it. It came out next to Black Ops 4, which is outselling it, and it's the same type of game, and Red Dead Redemption, which is just one of the best games to ever be released. Then you've got things like Spyro, which are considerably cheaper and people really enjoy playing.
Yeah.
And above that, again, is FIFA.
FIFA always does well.
And FIFA does well. So it's just thrown itself out in a crowded market and can't get any traction.
Okay.
The game I genuinely feel sorry for in the charts is Hitman 2, because it deserves to sell a lot of copies, because it's a fantastic game from what I've seen, and the first one was incredible too. And they deserve a lot of recognition. So I feel sorry that something like Battlefield 5 is outdoing Hitman, because Battlefield 5 is a disgrace. EA is a disgrace. I don't know if you noticed there, but I have particularly strong opinions about EA.
I know. Okay, shall we go on to the next one?
What's your opinion on Battlefield 5? Are you just worried that it'll be rubbish?
Well, I'm worried now that it's going to be rubbish that I've bought it.
Well, just give it a go and tell me what you think.
Okay.
I don't think it'll be technically bad. I think the single player will be fine.
Okay.
It's just that you can't keep releasing games like that year after year in crowded markets and expect it to do well.
Right, okay. So, Obsidian are announcing their brand new upcoming RPG this Thursday, the 6th of December, at the Game Awards at 9 p.m.
US Eastern Time, which is, I think,
2
2
a.m.
a.m. in Scotland. This is big, because this, we think, is the reason why Microsoft bought Obsidian. This RPG is I think, why they did it. Because I think Obsidian also made Pillars of Eternity, but you're not going to buy this. You're not going to buy Obsidian just to keep making Pillars of Eternity or things like that. You want them to keep doing that. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But you don't buy them just for that reason. You buy them because there's something special coming down the line that you want to make sure comes out.
Okay.
And that's because Microsoft are trying to make their consoles more attractive. And I think that's what's happening there. I think that's what's...
Any word on what it's going to be? Like, is
No.
Oh, we know it's an RPG.
It's an RPG, and it looks like there's some sci-fi in there, because some of the pictures that have been released show futuristic style guns and spaceships.
Okay.
But they also showed some sort of like almost old-timey Victorian era sort of maybe slightly after Victorian era cosmetics, like soaps and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah.
The way that they used to be sold.
Yeah.
And so we don't really know, but it could be Cowboys in Space.
Awesome.
Or something like that.
Not like the movie.
No, more like...
Was it Cowboys vs. Aliens or something like that with Daniel Craig.
Genuinely though, there was a part of me that had my fingers crossed for maybe something like a Serenity game. or a Firefly game, you're just like, but it won't be. It'll be their own brand new IP because they've had to register it as a brand new IP. But yeah, I'm really excited, and if I'm awake at 2 a.m. on Thursday, I'll watch that.
Okay.
What do you think, considering some of the games I've told you that Obsidian have made, how well received they are? I mean, these guys make amazing RPGs, and they're describing this as their dream RPG. So they've got access to AAA funding from Microsoft as well. So
looks like it's going to be fun.
Yeah, really
be interesting to see what it's going to be.
I'm really excited.
So shall we end on that happy note?
Yeah, that's why I put it there. But just to round off, they made Pillars of Eternity, and they also made KOTOR 2, which wasn't as good as KOTOR 1, but was still really, really good.
Knights of the Old Republic.
Yep. And it's just a Star Wars game, and it's just I'm really, 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 really excited.
Cool.
So you're saying the end on this good piece of news, but as far as I'm concerned, Fallout 76 getting ripped to pieces and EA getting ripped to pieces are good news.
Calm down.
I'm just so sad that it's hit all these customers. And Fallout 70, I'm actually upset about Fallout 76 because I'm glad to see people are attacking it because it was bad and all sorts of weird things have happened. But I'm really upset that Bethesda, a company I trusted, have got themselves involved in something so stupid.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I suppose you're right. But for me, the good news started when we hit EA. Loot boxes are going the way they do. Most of their company's money comes from loot boxes. Most of their profits are from loot boxes. So that's going to be fun.
Yes. So,
yay!
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of this.
We hope you enjoyed this ShadowCast. And you can like and subscribe below. Maybe leave a comment. That'd be fantastic.
Yes, please.
You can follow us at Facebook at
OverShadow.ShadowCast.
And you can contact us on email
at overshadow.shadowcast@gmail.com.
Yes.
All the links will be left in the description below.
Along with the... Yeah, it's links. Yeah, you're right. It's not just explanation, it's links. Links isn't...
You're so thinking, oh, she's going to say something stupid. Let me just correct her.
No, I'm just going to put a small picture of a lynx.
So I'm going to say goodbye. We hope you enjoyed this.
I'm also going to say goodbye, and I hope you enjoyed this.
Bye-bye.
See ya.